Let's take a look at this example. It says, suppose a clay pigeon is launched from a height of 5 feet and reaches a maximum height of 165 feet at a distance of 60 feet from the launch site. We want to write an equation for the height of the clay pigeon in terms of the horizontal distance it has traveled. And recall that the vertex form of a quadratic is given as follows: y equals a times the quantity x minus x sub v squared plus y sub v. Okay, in this case, we are given essentially the coordinates of the vertex, as the path of the clay pigeon would look something like this, where the vertex is located at the point 60, 165. Okay, so we could write our height formula without knowing a first as h equals a times x minus the x coordinate of the vertex, which is 60, squared, and then plus the y coordinate of the vertex, which is 165. Okay, we still don't know what a is, but we do know that a is negative because this parabola opens downward. Okay, so if we do a little bit more, I'm going to just take this expression and expand it some, and then we'll see if we can figure out what a is. So h equals a. If you square that binomial, and you may want to do this on the side, but it's x squared minus 120x and then plus 3600. And that's just taking x minus 60 times x minus 60. And then you also have that plus 165. So imagine for just a second, I mean, we really know in this standard form that we're trying to get that the y-intercept, which should really be c in standard form, is 5. But right now, you see that the y-intercept, it has this kind of bigger number, this 3600, and then this 165. And so that's definitely not 5. But also notice that this a would be distributed to that all of the terms inside the parentheses, including that 3600. So what we could do is write an equation that tells us, we really want a y-intercept of 5, and it could look something like this: a times 3600, because if we distributed that a, plus 165, all of that together should really be a 5. Okay, so to solve for a, I would subtract 165 from each side. Okay, and that gives us 3600a equals negative 160. And then divide both sides by 3600. So we get a equals negative 160 over 3600, simplified as negative 2 over 45. Because we can leave our equation in vertex form, we're just going to replace a in our initial equation with negative 2/45. If the shooter misses the clay pigeon, how far from the launch site will it hit the ground? In other words, we're looking for an x-intercept of the function. So if you look at a graph of this function and adjust the window so you can see the positive x-intercept over here, and hopefully you can determine where it is, and I'm just going to use the intersect feature. So second, trace, and then number 5, and hit enter 3 times, and so we see that that's about 120.9. So the distance from the launch site is approximately 120.9 feet.